move on in the bulletin. Some big breaking news which is coming in. Well, the Delhi High Court has sought a detailed response from the central government. This on a plea which seeks the reduction of GST which is imposed on air purifiers. Remember, air purifiers are anyways expensive. On top of that, they have huge GSTs which have been levied on them. Now, the Council for the Central Government has submitted that there is a process involved where all the states, union territories have to agree and voting has to be done physically to try and drop GST rates in this manner. The Council also says and raised questions on the intention of the petitioner. Well, the court has also questioned that the price, which ranges from 10,000 to 12,000, goes all the way across to 60,000. It is beyond the reach of the common man. Why not bring it down to a level in which it is within the reach of the common man, especially when the pollution levels are so high, especially in the national capital region? Council for the Government has sought time to reply. Let me go across to Dipankar. Dipankar, many have said this is a consumer-related story. It is not about really governance or economics. It's about consumers. People in Delhi, people like you and me, who have to live with this kind of a pollution, with zero accountability, mind you, from the state governments, deserve to get air purifiers at a cheaper price, and everyone, whether you are rich or poor, should be able to afford it. What is the way forward of this in the courts right now?
Well, currently the Delhi High Court has sought a detailed response on the petition that was filed regarding the reduction of the GSTs that is being leveled on the air purifier prices, and has said that detailed response as to how the GST Council will move ahead, when it will convene, and what will be the procedure before the GST Council, that all these things, all these aspects has to be covered in that response that has to be filed by the central government before the Delhi High Court. Remember, in the earlier hearing that happened like 2 days ago, where it was this same Delhi High Court which had made scathing remarks against the GST that is imposed, and on the non-accountability of the government regarding the air pollution, where they have gone on to say that people need air purifiers at the current moment, and it is a requirement, it is a necessity for the common man to have an air purifier. Today also the court has pointed out that the air purifiers start from a range of 10,000 to 12,000 and go up to 60,000, and why shouldn't the GST that is being imposed on these air purifiers, why shouldn't it be brought down? So these were scathing remarks over here, but the Council for the Government has pointed out that the GST Council does not convene like that on a virtual conference, but it has to appear physically, it has to convene physically, and voting has to be done by the ministers who are appearing before the GST Council. And all these things require a process, all these things require time. This was the submission of the Government Council who was appearing before the Delhi High Court. But we'll still need to wait and watch as to what is the detailed response that is being brought in by the Central Government Council after Kapil Madan, who is appearing, who's the petitioner in person, had argued that it is a fault where this GST purifier is being categorized in another schedule while the medicines are being categorized in another schedule. So all these things were argued, all these aspects were put forth before the Delhi High Court, and now we will have to wait.
Dipankar, that's a very interesting point that you have raised. You must elaborate. What is the slab that air purifiers come when it comes to the GST, and what about the medicines? Because many are saying this is an essential health necessity.
Well, yes, it is also pointed out in the petition that was filed before the Delhi High Court that it is being brought in as a medicinal facility. It is a medical equipment that is categorized in, and under that the GST that is imposed is about 5%. But still, despite it being qualified as a medical equipment, it has the GST that is imposed on the air purifier is 18%. So this was the contention that was brought in before the Delhi High Court also, and now we have to wait and watch as to how the GST Council goes beyond this, beyond the hearing, and what does this step take? What steps do they take to bring down the GST, and whether any further step may be taken by the GST Council.
The centre has made it very clear it's not so easy to simply change the category of any item. It takes a lot of consultation as well as voting. The entire process with the states happens. Only then can it do that. But we'll have to wait and see what's going to be the way forward in charting this. Thank you so much, Dipankar, for joining us with those details. With that, let's move on in the bulletin.